What's up, gamers? I'm Morgan LaFoy, and today I'm going to be showing you all of my Pokemon cosplays that I have made throughout the years, and I'm going to rank them on a tier list. So as I go along, I'm going to be telling you things I liked about the costumes, things I didn't like, and then I'm going to place them, and you can tell me in the comments if you think that I placed them properly according to what you think as well. The first cosplay I'm going to talk about is Lillie from Pokemon Sun and Moon. I really love Lillie, and I also really like the Pokemon Sun and Moon games. I played them a lot when they first came out. I really liked seeing Lillie's character development throughout the Sun and Moon games, and it just really inspired me to want to cosplay her. I also thought that Nebby was so freaking cute, so I ended up making my own Nebby to go along with my Lillie costume. And back then, you couldn't buy any plushes of him because the game had just came out, so I was completely on my own to make him from scratch. And I made him out of styrofoam balls and like sewing stuffing that I like balled up and hot glued all over him. And then he was airbrushed that nice, pretty gradient. I even put little LED lights in his like arms. I don't know what you would call them. So because of that, I really like this cosplay because I spent a lot of time on that, and I feel like he came out pretty good. The rest of the costume was mostly just Amazon pieces that I sewed to the best of my ability, which was very low skill-wise back then. I'm still not great at sewing, but I was way worse at sewing at this time. So I feel like I put a lot of work into Nebby, but the rest of the Lillie costume, I definitely could have done better on, especially if I went back now with the skills that I've accumulated over the years. But I still like her a lot. So I'm gonna put Lillie in A tier. Yeah. The next costume on my list is also from Pokemon Sun and Moon. I also cosplayed Plumeria, the big bad, and I just really loved her style. I liked that she had this cool hairstyle that was really challenging to make. And if you remember the Deep Morgan lore, back in the day, I used to bleach my eyebrows as a style choice. It was a phase. But because of that reason, I really related to Plumeria, and I was like, wow, that's me, you know? Her style, like I just really like her vibe. I feel like we match. So I really wanted to cosplay her, and I ended up making the wig out of like 3 different wigs. I had to order like extra long wefts from Arda, which was very expensive and took a lot of time. There's a lot of hot glue involved. I even 3D printed the little semicircles that went on her ponytails. So a lot of work went into that. I was only able to wear her a few times because I didn't make the wig super well, and it kind of fell apart after a few conventions. So although I really love Plumeria, I feel like I can't put her in S tier because the costume did break down after a while. So I'm gonna put her in A tier. I still really liked her though. Next up is James from Team Rocket. I always wanted to do Team Rocket cosplay. I feel like Team Rocket is just so iconic, and I love James. I love how silly he is. I love how just a fun character he is. He has a lot of dimension to him in my opinion, so I chose to do James over Jessie, and also the wig was way easier to make. And at that time, I didn't have the greatest wig making skills, so I felt like the purple bob was within my skill set. It was more of a casual cosplay. I pretty much only wore him to a couple conventions and a pool convention, so it was like a bathing suit version. And I didn't really make that much on this cosplay, although it was very fun to wear. It wasn't like crafting intensive. I don't have any fun crafting stories about him. So I'm gonna put him probably in C tier based on those things. Love you, James, but C tier. Up next is Grookey. It's kind of an unusual cosplay. It's the only Gajinka on the list that I made. And I really liked Grookey. I made him for one specific photo shoot and one photo shoot only with my friend Danielle Di Nicola. We did the starters from that game, and I liked how he came out, although I don't know if it's very readable to someone who doesn't know the character very well. Sometimes I have people come up and they're like, "That's Grookey," and I'm like, "Correct." And then other times people are like, "What's that?" So although I really like this photo and how the photo shoot came out, I think I'm gonna put Grookey in B tier? Yeah, B tier. Okay, next up is one of my favorite cosplays that I've done because I really love this character. She was so special to me in my childhood. This is going to be Whitney from Pokemon Silver and Gold. You might remember Whitney as, I believe it was the 3rd gym leader, I'm not really sure, but she was the first gym leader that really gave me a very hard time. And I hear that from many people across the board because she had a normal type Pokemon set up and she used a Miltank that had the rollout move, and she awarded it to you after you beat her, but it was pretty hard to beat her with any one of the starters at that point. So it was the first gym leader that just kicked my ass. So I had to go outside the gym and grind Pidgeys for quite a while before I was able to go back and finally beat her. And for that reason, it made her very memorable, and I really respected her, and I love her costume design and Miltank. So for that cosplay, I definitely spent a lot of time on the wig. I think that was the first really ambitious, like, structural anime hair wig that I tried to make, and I think it came out pretty good. I really enjoyed it. People reacted well to it. I actually also sewed the top myself. Not very well, but I tried. It was originally like just a white t-shirt from Walmart and some red fabric, also from Walmart, that I just did my best with and tried to make it look like the drawing. And I think it came out okay. I really like Whitney. I'm gonna put Whitney in S tier because I love Whitney. Next is Marnie. Another one of my favorite cosplays, because I worked really hard on this one. Around this time, I had gotten sick of trying to work with regular wigs because I wasn't that good at it. And foam is really my first love in cosplay, so I started making a lot of my wigs, especially anime wigs, out of foam. And I think it turned out really good. It was pretty ambitious. But there was some downsides to it. I made the wig kind of a little too big for my head, like sort of the wrong shape. I have a really tiny head. And I discovered that while making this wig. So when I put it on, it's kind of like a helmet that sits on my head and has to be like glued down on all sides of my face, which is a little uncomfortable. I also worked really hard to make her shoes. I took a pair of high heels and completely fabricated the shape of the shoe, which is a little strange around the high heel. So I was pretty proud of that as well. So yeah, where should we put Marnie? Because of the wig, I don't wear her as much as I wish I could. So I'm gonna put her in A tier? She might not stay there. We'll see. She could be S tier. But she's gonna stay in A tier for now. Next is one of my newer cosplays, which I really liked. Next is Iono. I liked that she is like an influencer and a streamer in the games. I thought that was really cute and kind of meta to cosplay. I related to her for that reason. And I just love her color scheme. I like how the yellow contrasts with the pastels. I love pastels, maybe you can tell. So let's see. About Iono, I did end up buying this cosplay online because they were available, but I also made her little magnetons on the wig myself. So I did fabricate the wig, and I ended up using the crimping method on the wig to give it more volume and body, which was my first experience doing that, and I really liked it. So I really like how it came out. People react well to Iono, and I feel like she's kind of an unusual character. You don't see a lot of cosplays of her. I'm gonna put Iono in S tier because she was super fun. Lastly is Nurse Joy. This is one of my most recent cosplays in general, but definitely my most recent Pokemon cosplay. Nurse Joy is just a classic, one that I've always wanted to do, and I completely fabricated her wig myself out of 2 really cheap wigs, which is kind of my new MO of wig making, is I'll buy a couple of really cheap wigs and just kind of go at it because the cost of making mistakes is low with that. If I screw it up, I'll just get another cheap wig instead of ruining a really expensive wig with my ineptness. But I didn't make any mistakes on that one. I was able to just use those 2 wigs and make both like the ponytails and the little bangs, her iconic bubble bangs. And I spent a really long time on that. It was definitely like a level up moment for me in wig making. And I used a lot of tutorials that I found online, and I liked how it came out. I think it was good. People also react well to Nurse Joy. I feel like everybody knows that character and loves that character from the Pokemon games. So I'm going to put her in A tier. And now that we're at the end, I feel like maybe Marnie deserves S tier. Yeah, because Marnie was a lot of hard work, and even though I don't wear her that much, I really like the way she came out. So this is my Pokemon cosplay tier list. Please let me know what you think, where you think they should go, or if you think I was spot on. I will see you guys next time.